Fortress of Meripede, we've got a set schedule, guarantee. Oh, you mean Risley? He does look kind of intimidating. He's actually pretty. Paimon wonders how he's like with the people here. Yeah, he must be doing something right to make.
Excuse me, did I hear some...
Huh?
Excuse me, is someone passing?
Nope, Paimon wasn't dreaming. There's someone over there for sure. But, Paimon?
Oh, did you hear my call? Thank you.
You're inside the box? Why are you hiding in here anyway? If we hadn't happened to pass by...
It's a bit complicated. Can we not talk about that for now?
Whoa, that's terrible. Did someone seriously...
No, it was nothing quite that serious.
Just your hat? But then, wait, Paimon gets it! Something must have happened to your hair! Sorry. So that's what happened. You just need your hat, right? We'll get it back to you right...
I think you may have misunderstood me, but it's a soft and brown hat with a bit of a brim. Nothing. I think I probably lost it near the entrance elevator. It's really important.
Don't worry, we'll be...
The show begins!
Now for a little rest after... Wait a sec. Isn't something important supposed to happen? Oh, today...
May I present? Please sign here.
It's been so long since we've been to the surface.
What's happening? I'm fine, thanks.
Let's go ask the Duke.
Strike a pose!
Your Grace?
Ah, good to see you.
Yeah, what was with that earthquake?
That. Over the years of serving as the warden here, I've developed a sense for distinguishing between what occurs on the surface and what occurs underwater. Besides, this...
So the fortress is...
If you recall our last incident, if there really were a problem, there would...
You've got a point. Okay, seems we need... by the way, do you know...
I believe today is this month's...
Wait, seriously?
Ah, yes.
Yep. It's you two. Are you... That's right. Today is our last day in prison. But, oh yeah, Paimon feels fun. Then be sure to come back and visit.
If you've signed the release papers, then you're free to go.
You're not going to see us up...
I knew you'd ask. All right, sure.
Well, you actually agreed. No worries, you must be busy.
Ah, so you do have a polite side.
After being down here for so long, I imagine you must feel like you're lacking. Yeah, don't worry, we'll come back to see you. Paimon really likes the cafeteria here.
I hope you won't be here as convicts the next time I see you.
We'll do our best to stay out of trouble. Well, it seems our work in the Fortress of Meripede is finished. That's the end of a... We should probably
You're going to see Monsieur Nervulette?
I'm sure just your regard.
I believe it would be the...
You're right. I've heard the palais has been terribly...
The Palais Mermonia sure is buzzing with activity today.
Halt! Huh? Oh, it's you two. Apology. Excuse me. Would you mind...
I'll be right there. Sorry, I've got my hands full here. Everyone's so busy.
Hello. You've come at the right time, but you'll have to wait for just a moment. In the meantime, please, have a seat. If you'd like to have some...
That's all right. We just ate.
Very well, then.
Let's take a break over there while we wait for him to finish his work.
All right. I should wrap...
Are you done with your work?
Yes, sorry to keep you waiting. Today should be the day you were released from the fortress of Meripede. And it appears that you have met...
That's right. And we came here to see you right away. Do you have any idea what that might...
Judging from your description, that cannot have occurred in any... A whale of that size and shape cannot usually be found.
Immersed in primordial sea water.
Most people wouldn't be capable of... Yes? What is it?
Ah, right. We asked the Duke and he said it wasn't...
It turns out that I have just received a report about this particular map. The source of the tremor was here on the surface near Poisson.
The water levels rose?
Fortunately, the water levels only rose for a short period of time and have already returned. If the change in water levels is connected with the leaking primordial seawater,
Navia should be in Poisson, right? We need to go check...
I would also like to go there as soon as possible, but I'm afraid I can't leave just yet. We must immediately formulate disaster I'll have to ask you two to go to Poisson first. I'll meet you there to check up.
There's no time to lose. Let's get going.
Please be careful.
Oh no. What? Navia should be around here, right? We haven't seen a single soul all the way here.
What will I ever do now?
Look, there's someone on the...
Just stay put. We're coming up. Watch your balance.
All right.
Oh, he looks pretty sad.
My leg. How could this have happened?
Just hang in there. Help is on.
Oh, it's Navia. She's over there. Hey, Navia, are you okay?
You're here.
We heard there was a situation in Poisson.
Yes. As you can...
Demoiselle! There was a wounded resident next to a building southeast of here. We've already transported him to...
He's wounded?
He fell, so it's probably a broken leg.
He jumped down then. Find the leader of Squad 1 and tell him to take the...
Understood. I'll take over.
All right. You'll... I'm sorry.
This...
Right. A little earlier, we suddenly heard a loud... The rushing water seemed a little odd. Everyone on the street who happened to be close to the water didn't have a chance. Those who realized what was happening started to flee in a panic, desperately trying to get to higher ground. The Spina di Rosula initiated rescue operations as quickly as possible, but there have been a lot of casualties. For the water that flooded the area contained primordial seawater, so the lower levels of... No one knows if this could happen again. All we can do for now is...
How awful. And...
It was quite frightening indeed. I only...
Is there any way we can help, Navia?
Thank you for being so willing to help in a moment of crisis like this. You don't know how much it means to me.
Don't say that, Navia. That's what friends are for.
Demoiselle! We've got a situation here.
I'll... Sorry. I need to go for now.
And off she goes. See...
Okay, the wounded are being tended to, and we finished Of course, we should remain ready for anything, and continue doing our best to rescue others. Traveler, Paimon, would you two accompany me to my father's grave for a moment?
Huh? Right now?
Thank you. Not a lot of people here, huh?
Well, given the time of day and the whole situation in Poisson...
Right. That's how things are now.
Navia?
Sorry. I just... Malus and Silver. They won't ever... What?
Huh? What happened to them?
Everyone agreed on the rescue plan, but still... They were helping evacuate the residents, but they couldn't...
What?
I've known them for so long. And I could at least hold a funeral for my father. And I know where he rests. But as for Malus and Silver...
Everything looks so clean after it rains. Even the gravestones. I didn't expect...
I can understand. Besides,
See, it's not just me. I always want to bring some.
How could Master ever... Yet the cemetery is the home...
buying yourself a plot in advance.
No need yet. But when I do, I hope you'll let me be buried beside Master Callus.
Hey, stop.
I'm quite serious. That way, it will save us both the trip to see each other.
That makes sense. In that case, could...
After all, besides you, demoiselle, the two of us could...
Personally, I believe we fill those shoes.
Why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? Seriously. But I'd really prefer not to talk about this stuff. And what do you mean by saving me a trip? I'd make the... I'd promised to let them rest in peace here. I'm sorry for letting you see me in a mess like this.
Paimon doesn't know how to help you feel better. But
I'd always thought I could make my wishes come true. But now that I think about it, that never sold Malus and Silver have helped me. So I'm so sorry.
you can spend as much time as you need here, Navia. We'll stay with...
Thank you. Right now, by the way, you can have a look at this. It's a list.
Obana... Khan... So...
It's okay. I know what you're thinking. And the overall outcome indicates that the cost...
Right! Don't think that way, Navia. One person might be saved at the expense of another, sure. Malus and Silver were not the price for seeing...
You're right. What you said just now was pretty amazing.
Oh!
Seems you've become more eloquent in the time since we last met.
The knave?
Ah, is everything going well on your side?
Yes, my people are carrying out the mission according to your request. All the residents of Poisson. As for these supplies, we have everything taken care of.
Thank you. Very...
Wait, do you...
We just met recently.
Usually, I would call this a coincidental encounter. But that doesn't quite fit this time. Thanks to the knave, Spina di Rosula received generous support from the Fatui, which allowed us to complete the rescue and
Mutual aid is essential to fostering positive developments. We were already in the area, in any case, so it was nothing. That said, I must say that you're a lot sharper than you let on.
I apologize for all the ways in which I tested you previously. We've never worked with a Fatui before, and it's extremely important for us to know who we're working with. My subordinates have reported that Fatui soldiers have been observing water levels and taking head counts in various locations.
This is nothing to brag about, nor do I intend to. It is simply the way of powerful organizations to, as I've told this traveler before, I know of the prophecy, and lending your organization a hand was a natural first step in accomplishing that. As such, do not be troubled by this
Without your help, there would have been many more casualties.
Furthermore, I sincerely regret what happened to Malus and Silver. I only wish that my people...
Don't say that. You and your subordinate, as Paimon said, Malus and Silver didn't choose to sacrifice themselves for any specific I've never liked hearing people put it that way. It's like trying to relieve pain by saying some noble-sounding words. But right...
You're right. I'm sorry for your loss. Water is life to Fontaine's people, and it also spells disaster. It's no wonder that people always say that prophecies represent fate.
So, you're one who will try to...
Of course. That is why I'm going to Hotel Bouffe de Thé. I still have some things to take care of. By the way, traveler, Paimon, one more thing.
Alright, then we'll just... Huh?
That is a clever and useful conversation technique, which I do like to use when necessary. But there's no need today. It would not hurt to have Miss Traveler. I'm sure you remember that I said we could work together when You and I both know that there may be issues with the Primordial Sea. Previously, it was the... Indeed. Allow me to share the latest intel I've received from the House of the Hearths. During some recent investigations, a child claimed to have discovered some ruins near Poisson. Judging by the dating of the ruins, they may be related to the prophecy and the coming crisis. The situation is becoming more. My people initially came to prepare for ruin exploration. Unexpectedly, this disaster struck. And at present, we're all busy prioritizing the rescue effort.
So that's why the Fatui were already in Poisson.
I wanted to take the children along, but unfortunately, Linny, Lynette, and Fremine have all been dispatched to... Linny told me that outside of the house, the person... Which is why I want to give you this task. The House of the Hearth's members see each other as family, but Linny, Lynette, and Fremine said that they also see you as such. I'm sure you already understand how earnest they consider their friend.
Oh, that somehow makes Paimon feel kind.
The intel I just shared about the ruins could fetch a high price. But since the children consider you family, it's only natural that I free.
Got it! So all we gotta do is go to some ruins, right? Whee!
Excuse me, but may I tag along?
You wish to join, Miss Navi?
But are you sure you're up to exploring some...
Well, I'm sad, yes. But I can't just go. There's no point in being depressed while we still have a disaster on our hands. Besides, I'm also doing this for myself. I need some...
Since you put it that way, I have no... All right, the ruin...
Okay, the three of us will handle... So, are these the...
They seem to be...
Let's go in and have...
Just be...
Get them! You're toast! I'm going in! Dada Kondala. Floor here isn't safe!
Into the wind.
This place has also been contaminated, but...
Yeah. And a lot of it, too. A Fontanian would most likely dissolve the
Right! You can't go down if there's primordial seawater. It's too dangerous, and it won't be any help for... Don't get Paimon wrong. We're not saying you're useless.
No, you're right. I can't do anything in this situation. That complicates things.
In that case, do you want to wait?
The water levels here are unstable, and there's a chance I'll go together with you. Perhaps we'll find the exit.
All right. Come with us for now. Oh no, it's a dead end! Let's try climbing over
Time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
Wait, there's something wrong with this bridge.
Demoiselle. Huh? Demoiselle, what are you doing here by yourself? Would you be standing here till dark if I hadn't come?
Maybe she just wants some time to herself.
Oh.
Yes, it would have been.
That's quite possible. However, you...
Oh, right. It must have slipped my mind when I... This is a familiar feeling, yet...
Is something the matter, Demoiselle?
Oh, no. I was just trying to recall what...
Do you remember Mr. Giverny? He'd requested our help before with...
We were headed to see how things were going with him at the moment.
Ah, right.
Oh, Miss Navia. Ah, Mr. Malus. And Mr. Silver, too.
How have you been?
I've been great. Thanks to your help, they were knocking at my door day and...
Sometimes force is required.
That's right.
Oh, yes. Miss Navia, these are some flower seeds that I prepared. Please take them. They're I don't know what we would have done without your help. So this is a little token of our appreciation.
Did you cultivate them yourself? Thank you so much. I'll certainly take them.
Why, we can have as many pots as you'd like, Demoiselle.
Perfect. In that case, we'll swap out some of the decorative plants.
Very well.
Wait. Something... Excuse me, madam. If I'm not mistaken, you...
That's right.
No, it's nothing. This is the first time we've ever met, but your name seemed familiar to... I've heard this name before. Sometime recently, I'm sure of it. And why are there so few people around here?
We must mind the time, Demoiselle. We still have important...
Huh? We do?
Well, now, did you...
Miss Navia, here you are. I've been looking for you. My trial? Oh.
Yes, she's right, Demoiselle. It's just about time now, so...
Oh?
Look, it's Navia!
And her two attendants are with her. Goodness, everyone's finally here.
There sure are a lot of people here to see the trial. And they all seem to be oddly Karina, Desiree, Joeyville.
Don't worry, Silver and I...
All right. But are you sure you can stand behind...
Typically, it wouldn't be allowed, but today...
Hey, what kind of place do they think this is?
Come on. Do they have any idea what they're doing?
Enough with the whispering! Could some...
My dear Miss Navia, have you not yet realized what you've done? As all here know, you are Master Callus's successor, the head of the Spina di Rasula. After you took over the Spina, you treated all of us just like the late Master Callus had. If anyone in need reached out to you for not only you, but your butler, your subordinates, nearly everyone in the Spina di Rasula fought...
Wait a moment. Aren't you just proving that I'm a good...
Yes, correct. Absolutely right. And that is why you stand accused. You have helped... We are one big family. All of us who are from Poisson, inextricably linked. And with you being so important... We couldn't. Therefore, this fair and honorable court shall declare you guilty, and you shall stay here. You...
Huh? Everything you have said is correct. I have indeed done a lot for my hometown, and I would be willing to be with you all.
Oh, well, if that's what you think, then...
How wonderful, Miss No...
I know all these people. Why are they laughing?
I seem to remember now.
Wait just a moment. This isn't right!
Malus?
What was that, Mr. Malus? Our conclusion is very clear and unanimous. Let the court judge her now. She's...
Stay here, Navia! You're one of...
Demoiselle, don't admit guilt. This trial means to keep you here for...
I wish to exercise my right to defend Our Lady. Mr. Joinville, you only know of Navia's goodness, but nothing...
She was born a free and independent spirit. She has never been tied down by anything. Indeed, even...
Her actions cannot serve as proof that she identifies herself as part of any group. She may... Please do not mistake her actions.
Really? As an individual, you say? Don't forget, we are all Fontanians here. This is the... Even if Miss Navia only voluntarily rendered her assistance, that doesn't change the fact that her beautiful soul must return to everyone. Water accepts everything is measured here in the nation of Hydro. And in the end, everyone shall... Now I speak for everyone. Our opinion is consistent. Navia should stay. We...
And you would call this justice? Preposterous. Have you forgotten how much you all once wronged?
Do you mean to defy?
If your justice is flawed, then why should we...
As you said, we can also have our own justice. Silver, and that is...
My head...
Demoiselle!
Silver, it hurts. I remember now. Everything that seemed odd from the very beginning. Karina, Desiree, Joyville, Jolien, Essen, and Mr. Giverny and Mrs. Burnett, who we met earlier. Even Malus and Silver. I don't want to admit it, but they're all dead.
Don't be afraid, and don't admit guilt.
Absurd! Who are you to say that she cannot be judged? We are the majority, and in the nation of trials, the majority is absolute justice. Don't let them escape! We shall keep not-
Mr. Malus and Mr. Silver, must you be so stubborn? How could the two of you possibly hope to stand against the collective? Do not resist. This judgment is fair and just. Navia belongs to us. After all that happened, she should not be left alone in Poisson.
What are you saying?
No more excuses!
He says we're jealous. Jealous? How could she possibly be an
What's with these people? Who's jealous of her?
She belongs to us!
Miss Navia.
Silence!
That's... Monsieur Neuvillette!
Such commotion is prohibited in the court. The accusations you just presented are nonsense. The court will adjourn for the rest of the day. In this, I shall hear no objections from...
Our thanks, monsieur.
Please leave with me, Miss Navia, while there is still time.
But...
Go on now, demoiselle. This is your only chance to...
Malus.
My apologies. I couldn't resist making one little joke once I realized that...
Malus... Silver...
Quickly, you must come...
Goodbye.
Farewell.
No, wait! Just a second!
Navia?
You're awake? Good.
I must have been dreaming. Malus and Silver were still alive.
It looks like you're all...
Did all the sad feelings cause you to have a nightmare?
The ruins you were exploring suffered a cave-in. When I arrived, I found you were just about to be dissolved within. I think I saw 2 Oceanids protecting you. It was only for a moment, perhaps even a fraction of a second. Were it not for their intervention, I would not have been able to rescue you before your conscious...
Wait, did you say Oceanids? You mean like what happened?
Perhaps those 2 Oceanids were the people you saw in your dream.
I always told them that they didn't have to protect me.
Please come with me.
Neverlet, are you okay?
Oh, I am quite all right.
Why do you look so stiff? Oh, Paimon knows. You're the type who feels awkward when there's nothing.
I merely thought that we should give Navia some time to herself.
Huh? Why didn't you just say so then? Don't you think it's even more awkward to call us over like this and then have...
Ah, Sigewinne. I hope all is well with her these days.
No way, don't worry. She's doing fine down there.
I see. Well, that is good. I have always worried that Sigewinne would need a lot of time to...
Oh, and the Duke also says hi. Even though Sigewinne made him do...
Thank you. I have indeed been busy lately, and I also hope that...
He still doesn't know what to talk. So, Neverlet, you're...
Yes, of course.
This isn't going anywhere.
Yes, in fact. I had arranged to meet you in Poisson, but when I arrived, amid my astonishment, I ran into the knave, and we had a chat. She informed me...
Yeah, we originally planned to meet up with you, but we thought you might still be
I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting like that. I'm feeling much better now. I guess we should get going again. Will you come with us, Monsieur Neuvillette?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind my company.
Oh, right! Another one joins the party! Let's get going then!
Run with nature. Off we go!
Oh no, another unstable path. Watch your step. Watch out! There are rocks falling over here! Hey, stop! Boba, get them!
Time to go.
It seems we're almost at the top. Keep it up!
The show begins! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Let the world come alive!
Into the wind!
Frog Pimp, into the fire!
As one with wind and cloud! One with nature!
Nice and spicy! we've reached the end.
This is the place? There should not be any other hidden spaces.
The path sure had some twists and turns, but it turns out that this place isn't actually that big.
Stone slates. It seems...
Perhaps we should just leave them be for now.
There are 4 locations in total, but only 3 stone slates. The slate that should be...
The surrounding walls also.
There's something written below. Let Paimon see.
It feels like someone left these slates.
That would fit the circumstances dictated.
There's a person kneeling.
And is that Lady Farina in the
And is that a ring of people around her?
The 4th image. I know this one. This exactly matches the content of...
The people will all be dissolved into the... More information should be hidden in these slates, but I fear I cannot easily uncover it.
Don't blame yourself, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Ooh, Paimon's getting the chills just... This says that it's the history of this...
I really hope it doesn't...
Still... Paimon...
That's right! If the images are in chronological order, shouldn't the 4th, the waters drowning Fontaine, come before the 3rd?
And yet the order is reversed here.
If we go by timing, Lady Farina only emerges in the 3rd image. That means that the person in the 2nd image...
Egeria, then. I had never met her, but her appearance... The previous Archon kneeling before the floating island in the sky.
Did she herself commit that sin? And also, I'm still wondering why these ancient stone slates are here at all. Judging from their contents, could this place be the origin of the...
But who would have created these slates and left these words?
It seems that any further clues will have to come from
In that case, there's no time to lose. There's nothing else to...
Yeah, we better get somewhere safe for now.
Time to go.
Let's split up here. I'm going to check on what's happening with the Spina.
You still have energy for that, Navia?
Just head back to the...
I'll depart as well. Thanks for your heart, Traveler. I will go talk to Farina tomorrow. I'm sure that you're concerned about this matter as well. If you have time, drop by my office.
Are you really going to talk to her about this directly? Will that be a problem?
She has long been harboring secrets and will not give them up easily.
Alright, we'll leave it in your hands then.
I will be carefully considering my work.
Traveler, Paimon, our safe house at the Fleuve Cendre is always open to you. All right.
We're finally back!
Welcome back.
Yay! And there's good food! Paimon's already starting to forget what happened today.
Oh, that voice. Is that who I think it is?
Huh?
It's you two. What are you doing in Fontaine?
Seriously?
Still, we didn't expect to see you.
Well, I have some business to attend to here. Why did you think I was from Fontaine, though? Is that...
yeah, let's go.
Well, I used to have my own surname, which was... There was nothing for it, really. She really is amazing at astrology.
It isn't?
Nope. Although it is used by us in place.
Wow! Imagine including a boast in your name.
I reckon so. In any case, I'd give my disciple a name like this as well, if I were to take one. Astromancer,
Whoa, that's a long one. Does it also mean great or something?
My name means Mona the Great Astrologist. As for the old hag,
The rice is great? That's so...
I know, right? That's just how she is. She used to
Talk about excessive.
Megistus is thus the calling card of our school, so to speak, which makes it about the same as a surname. It's all right if you don't get it. You can look into it further should...
That sounds terrible! But anyway, you're not Fontanian, are you, Mona? You're from Mondstadt, right?
Well, I was born in Mondstadt, yes. My parents migrated to Dorman Port, and I traveled the old hag for a while, after which...
Oh, that's a good thing then. At least we know you won't be dissolved by Fontaine's waters.
Speaking of that, I'm sure you're aware that a bunch of things have happened here in Fontaine, right? There's something ominous about it. Well, the water, I mean. That was the main reason, yes. Just a while back, the Steambird invited me to take part. The invitation was sent quite early on. I don't think any...
What do you make of that prophecy, Mona? Just tell...
What I can tell you is that I'm an astrologist. And that I'm afraid that this is not something that just anyone can do. But on the flip side, the prophecy is so huge and powerful that it must surely come from a powerful visionary. Its contents involve the...
A visionary?
Sounds... The old hag could do it. And I bet there are...
Thanks, Mona. You're amazing.
Oh, well, this is...
That's the greatest of astrologists for you! Of all...
Indeed.
Oh, sorry. I came to see what all the commotion was about. If there's any...
Oh, whoops. Guess we were getting a little too carried away there. Well, I'll go tend to my own now.
And there she goes, quick as rushing water. And here we are. If Paimon hadn't spoken... that's more like... Good morning. To be honest, Paimon's still feeling kind of... But it's time to get up, traveler. We agree?
Time to go.
You're here! Monsieur Neuvillette and Lady Farina, they seem to have got it...
Like I said, I've already explained everything.
And yet the problem has not been properly solved. It is not my intention to offend you, but please tell me where you stand. You are the Hydro Archon Focalor, are you not? Look at this. This is a list of the victims from the recent Poisson incident.
You mean...
We did not arrive in time to avert this disaster, and I will not have it happen again. I will say this once more. You must tell me. Yesterday, I found 3 stone slates in some ancient...
Seriously? You're questioning me like this is a court case now. I don't know, but you found them...
That's correct. Which is... The second of these slates depicts the previous Hydro...
I don't.
I'll ask you again. My deciphering of the slates indicates that the...
All gods don't have the same secrets, you know. She was herself and I'm me. I understand your concerns, but...
Forgive me for saying this now, Lady Farina, but I have long known of your various secret investigations into... There are several indications that you have been investigating the prop. This is not strange in itself, considering that you have never been as superficial as you have presented yourself to be. Nor are you a fool. You.
Well, since you know about my secret investigations, then you should know there's no point questioning or suspecting me. You're the Eudex, but you're still my subordinate. You should just trust in me, your Archon, and do as I say. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself. That's all I have to say. We do not Oh, the opera's about to start.
Did Farina not notice us standing by the door? Wonder what's up with her.
I assume you've been outside for a while.
Oh, you noticed. Seems Farina...
She was in a great panic, though I cannot discern the reason. Our discussion reached impasses. Still, I do not understand. Dialogue is the bait. Everyone in her inner circle has noticed that she is hiding some secret. The issue is her attitude. We may have to create a situation in which she will have...
Oh?
Normally, people will only reveal the truth when standing trial. Perhaps we must have the Hydra...
But Farina's seen so many trials, and she's really good at dodging questions. How do we make sure that she won't just slip away at the first...
We will need to consider this thoroughly, join forces with various parties. If at all possible, I would prefer to... This may be cruel to her, but all Fontaine is in crisis. The information a god... But who will let...
Well, that's everyone. Speaking of which, it was pretty smart of you to think of hiding here.
Poisson was just involved in a disaster, so it's presently devoid.
And here you are drinking tea like it's the most natural...
That's what families should do. Sit and enjoy a...
It's nice to enjoy tea here, you know? Care for a cup?
Lend me your ears, everyone. Or perhaps one of you might like to start us off. How about you, friend?
Me?
Then, how about you, good sir?
I fear that I will cause the mood on this boat to become as somber as...
Well then, I guess we're lucky we've got a local like me to organize things. Wonderful, the spotlight at...
That was a little long-winded, don't you think?
Oh, you might be right. Anyway, to cut to the chase, our friend... As for what that is, well, let's start by saying that we'll be pooling our efforts...
Oh?
Well, it's just an expression, really. One that I just learned from Chlorand, and used on the spot.
Huh? Didn't you say that you would be...
Oh, come now. Your work doesn't involve much public speaking, right? This is a good chance to practice.
I see. And what...
He is glad that you consider him your
In that case, do any of you have experience hunting?
Not that I recall.
Fremine and I once used a wooden stick in a basket to catch wild rabbits when we were younger. As for Lynette,
I've also gone diving to catch some fish before.
I'm afraid not. You may or may not have heard, but Fontaine once played host to a group known as the Marichaux. Though that was their name, they did not hunt animals, but rather various monsters left behind by the ancient dynasty of... Today, Fontaine's monster population has already thinned greatly, so the hunters have blended back into society, picking up arms in other lines of work. A trap comprises of the following components: bait, a trigger, and a containment device. So, if we were to build a trap together, right now...
For me, I would prefer something basket-shaped. Pigeons and rabbits will see the bait, and our line of work requires a deft hand, and we're some of the best in the industry.
You used some of those techniques while moving the people of Poisson, didn't you? My subordinates mentioned that you...
Yes, and I even managed to gather some intelligence in the meantime.
I'm afraid I can't claim that as my strong suit. I prefer more stable methods.
Calm and steady. Exactly the kind of person.
And I can be their assistant. With discretion, I'm sure.
I'd probably use some sort of mechanical animal. Papa once bought me some small clockworks. I remember that you liked those too, didn't you?
I did. And that would be a good way to go about it. If they're realistic enough. And
what about you, Monsieur Neuvillette?
I fear I do not have any...
That makes sense. You usually solve problems directly, without the use of... But I do have one more question for you, Miss. If we were to create a trap now...
I would like for it to be effective, but bring no harm to the prey.
Kind, as always. However, our intention doesn't necessarily change. If we wanted to kill the prey in one strike, we would need a powerful implement. However, that also goes for...
Wait, why...
Only a hunter who's a true expert at subduing their prey can snare it without harming it. The line that divides life...
We hadn't thought of seeing ourselves as hunters.
If our means of capturing and dealing with our prey is to put them on trial, then the hunting method... But we shall require much more courage than any hunter to judge a god.
Oh, so that's...
It's been a tough few days. Paimon didn't think that me... Paimon thought they'd be at least a little frightened. Well, Fremine was, now that Paimon... it's hard to say. Paimon doesn't... After all, you're the most reliable... Did you just... Paimon's never seen that...
Don't be frightened.
Who's that?
Aw, have you forgotten me?
Wait, you are familiar.
The voice from the sky, You're feeling lost now, just as you were feeling previously. Consider me a passerby, just accepting it. The prophecy. Yes, what has been prophesied will be fulfilled.
What? Then is there any way...
I believe you have witnessed a failed attempt with your own eyes. Can everything in Teyvat... So just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, are the things that you shall see different from the fate that the gods perceive?
What is she talking about?
I believe that you understand, right? Some things ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Teyvat's future. This was good tea, by the way. Thank you for your hospitality.
The voice. Paimon here's... Alright. Hey, it's you!
Well, I see I've walked in on some lively banter.
Mona!
Fine, just fine. I went to take part in that Steambird panel. Not all Fontanians are pessimistic about this. One journalist mentioned that sitting around and waiting for the end to come would be wrong, and that they should...
Did she have pink hair by any...
Why, yes, it was Charlotte. You remember I'm in full support of her view. Prophecies are very important.
That's right! Paimon's glad to hear something...
Yes. About what... Huh? Goodness gracious. Are you serious?
She said that even the god's gaze has blind spots. pretty.
The Hexen Circle members are certainly anything but ordinary. But I've never met her, and if she were still a...
Whoa. The Hexen Circle sounds like a
Their abilities alone are pretty terrifying. If she came to see you personally...
Well, it's not like Paimon could understand anything she said.
Yes, she was quite cryptic, but I suspect she means that perhaps it is something that you can... Traveler,
Oh, we're fine. We're just a little down.
I see. I feel that I guess you could consider me someone who has often witnessed fate. But even so, I still hope for... Perhaps that's what En was trying to tell you. Not to lose heart, and to believe that what you were... I did originally think of steering clear of all this, but I could...
Huh. You do have a point.
There, it was worth trying to comfort you, even if only a little. I suppose that might be why we always...
Paimon feels kind of moved by what Mona said. But, hey Traveler, Paimon suddenly feels like going outside for a walk. Let's go. Let's walk around the city, shall we? There's a few spots we always like to walk by.
Time to go.
Huh? Let Paimon see! The underwater stronghold, the Fortress of Merit. My recent attempts to enter the fortress bore thus did an Outlander friend. So while the fortress's interior, journalist Charlotte's biggest scoop yet, the Traveler's Trail. Charlotte took so many awesome photos of us and she hasn't been able to get a hold of anything seriously? Well, fine.
Time to go. Time to go.
We're here! Paimon. Hey, quick! Look! That's the limited edition, only 16 slices a day cake! It was so delicious the last time we tried.
Oh, are you here to buy cake too? It seems Monsieur Nervalet was right.
Wait, did he really say something like that?
That's right. Even he has his own preferences when it comes to food. As for me,
Do you come here often?
Usually every day.
Every day?
It's part of my daily schedule, apart from work.
Then what if someone told you one day that this place would be closing soon, and you wouldn't get to eat cake here anymore? Well...
But why would it close?
Well, Paimon doesn't know either, but... Maybe the water...
Oh, the prophecy. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to that. No, still, No, it's the same for eating in general. You might not be able to eat tomorrow, but if you can do so today, then you should carry on. That's what people call living.
Huh.
Don't be sad. Excuse me, could I have 2 more slices of cake to go? These 2 slices are for you. Sijuin said that this kind of expression you're making is what humans call being sad.
Oh, you know Sijuin?
I sure do. She was born before me, and she sometimes comes to the surface to teach us that she said that humans are creatures that are saddened easily. Yes, and you can only lift their spirits by feeding them delicious food. I've got something else to do, so I'll be going now. You 2 try to stay in a good mood after eating.
And there she goes. All right, let's dig in. Paimon, it's more delicious than last time. Sure would be nice if we could always eat delicious food. office. Let's go look for Charlotte and have a chat.
Wow! If it isn't the Traveler and Paimon! Oh, have you seen the article I wrote about you?
Ha! You've got some nerve! You just used us to make some quick...
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I heard that you were in Poisson sometime. It's alright though, I've set aside the amount.
Really?
You're almost a little too easy to win over, Paimon. If I were a journalist with ulterior motive...
Oh, Paimon knows you're not like that.
Still, what brings you here all of a sudden?
When Mona mentioned you, we thought of coming to see...
I see. It seems you've already bumped into Mom. So she mentioned me?
What? She said that you're a real daredevil.
Nice.
Huh? So your article...
Oh, of course it doesn't.
Yeah. Are we?
Why not? If I say...
Oh. In that case...
Oh, so that's a yes? Ooh, splendid! I'll tell the editor-in-chief immediately. I'll have to apply... Whew, so much to get done.
Wait, Charlotte. Paimon's still got a question for you.
And what's that?
If, just for example...
Huh. That's the prophecy you're talking about, isn't it? I mean, I do hear about it. If you're seriously asking, then I might try and think of a way to leave Fontaine. Oh, but I'm still a journalist first and foremost. That means I have a duty to be reporting from this. From what I've seen, most people don't know what they'd do should the worst come to pass. In truth, it might be better just to behave like normal, rather. So in all likelihood, I'd probably still be prepping at the office for that interview of ours. I know what you're... Just think about it. If this nation really were to be sudden... And then do you know what I'd do? Well, I'd write that story. I'm not a dreamer, nor am I... But anyway, that's my...
That's... So... Anyway, let's go and take a look at the sea, shall we? The sea breeze and scenery can be a pretty soothing... Paimon's been thinking... If it wasn't Fontaine, but... no, Paimon should ask... We've always been moving to the next... You mean... Still traveling? Huh. Feels like it'll grow mold if you... But it's still better than the fortress...
Ah, so the two of you are still here.
Oh, you're from the Palais Mermont?
Yes, I'm Isadora. Not at all. Yes, inside the opera.
A riot?
Well, that said, Lady Farina was watching a loudly accusing her, and before she could respond, the crowd continued to grow.
So people have...
I agree.
So what happened after...
Seeing that the situation, the Marechaussee Phantom...
So...
That's right. That said, I don't think there's much good.
Don't worry, this...
Is that...
Well, sounds like we should hurry over to Poisson then. If we know Farina, she won't try to fix... And, as we also know, when Nervalet was talking, it would be hard for her to... Paimon thinks Farina's proud... Huh! Well, what do you think? In that case, there's none of... This place looks deserted. Guess all the survivors must have evacuated already. All that's left here are signs of devastation. Could Farina really be here? What? That's Farina, right over there.
What was meant to happen did happen after all. I'm sorry. I am so... Give up, Farina. I'm sorry, but what can I even do other than to... Who's that?
Don't worry, Farina, it's just...
So, it is you, blonde traveler from another...
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't...
What do you mean, tear stains?
Oh, I remember. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Did they even dare to doubt their Archon? I must teach them a lesson. Oh, and I'm sure Nouvellette and those people from the Marsh Dose Phantom are freaking out.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there! Quick, after her!
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are? They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me in person. That's against the rules. I can't let them get...
Farina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with him. This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick!
What?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Fine. I suppose haste...
Paimon's exhausted.
No, I mean, I merely gave it...
Yep, that's it.
What's happening?
Yeah, a quake of this kind proceeds.
It can't be.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Nouvellette's made some emergency plans, so the...
Yeah, but the people of Poisson... It's true. I've been investigating. I once had informants all over Tevat. I've tried all kinds of ways, too, to hold back the... But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No. Give up, indeed. I've thought about giving up fate. It is really unreasonable, isn't it? It hasn't, but just now. It all became clear to me. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope. Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play. Don't take any of what I just said seriously.
Oh, come on! Paimon could have sworn you were...
Share, that's impossible. It was fated right from a witness. And if Tevat is in its entirety...
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes my opening performance. Now, without further ado,
So, this is what it is. Yes,
You deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice, the embodiment of justice itself.
May I interpret these words as your refusal to step? In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
You would draw your blade against a guard. I see. It seems like you have made up your mind.
Paimon can't believe it. She just...
What the heck is going on?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
It would seem that there has been a misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised my hands just now to indicate my acceptance of the trial. I will admit that I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me. But now, it is I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world that this time. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine. The trial.
Woohoo!
Oh, now we're.
Why does it feel like Farina just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic,
All right, then. Who will...
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Is that so? Very well. Then please speak, witness. Also, please allow me to ask, as a final question before just how much work did you do to
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula, since they were rather straightforward and easy.
Navia, the president of...
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates. They changed into plain clothes and came to the Opera House as regular audience members, waiting for the perfect opportunity to... The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn... Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene, and so we arranged for a second group to...
So, you mean... The ones who scoured the settlement for me were all...
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate in the greatest magic performance...
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first performed at the Opera Epiclese.
According to Monsieur Nerd, I nearly lost my awesome friend. The words of someone as extraordinary as a wit.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on! Just fast forward to the... Of course. It is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god.
That's true, but my charge here is unrelated to your conduct instead. I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon...
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
Hey, I came here thinking that we were going to try the Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but...
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead... Lady Farina.
I plead not guilty. There is no way that I, Fosalor, otherwise
otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine, could be.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going to.
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity either. Sure, Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but.
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since the. See? Even the Oratrice has decided to show me its favor. Are you sure you want? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you, as the God of Justice, that you will not have to face trial for making a false accusation.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? You have to not only.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender. If you must persist, then let me. And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live?
First of all, you may be a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case...
Who gave you that idea? Was it...
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an arc, but in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity.
You sensed it too, huh, Neverlet?
Lady Farina.
Well, it is true that it's extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by looking at them.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have... Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. For centuries, manifestations of my authority, one need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house. Or...
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us?
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods...
Lady Farina, I believe while the court is in session, the principles of justice, you will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges.
I never thought you'd use...
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestation...
The real Hydro Archon. Well, now you're really losing me. It is true that I did not know why, but the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally. And it has been operating... You can't argue that just because
She's still throwing out all kinds of excuses.
My power as an Archon.
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend...
You don't need to go that far.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the...
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and thus did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily life.
Isn't that?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called...
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that... Please. You've got to believe...
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too? And then all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Enough! That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydra, if you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up. That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't think this clue can be used as compelling evidence to build our case. That doesn't sound right. Paimon doesn't... It has been established.
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and...
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to
super sorry, Monsieur Chief Justice. I've brought some seawater from Poisson. As everyone knows, a massive flood, including those of some of my... So, Miss Farina, would you... If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching... But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse. Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve. I do hope you'll act prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably a Fontanian like all the rest of us. Would she really?
Lady Farina, this test has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution. As it falls outside the realm of standard court proceedings, you possess...
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as...
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word. It really...
What's going on? Is she really planning to...
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina.
Hey! I'm fine! Look at me, everyone! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human.
Miss Siegewing? If you're present, Miss Siegewing, please come forward and attend...
Siegewing, don't be nervous. It'll just take a few...
Please announce the results of your evaluation to...
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. She was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar...
Thank you, Miss Siegewing. Lady Farina, you may return to...
Oh, wait. What did she just say? I didn't...
Well, considering your tendency to run from your problem, however, after extensive discussion, we exchanged it. We don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used for... I can't...
Listen to me! Listen to me! Please don't give me such... Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon... Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand... Please, everyone,
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end. If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the...
No, the Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
Isn't that correct then?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus: the Hydro Archon to be punished via the death sentence.
That's actually one of the available sentences? I've always thought that it was just a myth.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice?
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use...
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Mache wasn't sentenced to death!
Indeed. Not only is Farina's sentence overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the... But now, the Oratrice...
Excuse me, if I may interrupt. Is the trial still going?
Fremine! You finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
Is that the first prophecy slate? Huh. So the knave privately...
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea. It took me a... But has the trial already concluded?
Thank you for your hard work, Mr. Fremine. Please allow... Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates. I would like you to come here and confirm...
Huh? So what do you see? What...
I believe I have now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime.
Huh? Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people? Oh, wait. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro...
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make.
Okay, let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. slate describes what you just said. It seems to show the previous. Does that mean that the second stone slate shows? So this must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontanians were branded with their original sin. Does this mean that the third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea surrounded? That reminds Paimon, didn't? Well, the fourth slate is the prophecy the Fontanians have been talking about. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we?
We know from the case of the serial disappearances of young women that Fontanians can be dissolved, and the first stone slate tells us that long ago the Hydro Archon. This might be the reason that
That doesn't sound quite. That doesn't.
perhaps what is about the truth and the It's not us when not the the prophecy from
They'll dissolve into the primordial sea but won't cease to exist. Their essence will flow in the sea. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court, shocking everyone present. Navia fell into the water inside those ruins, and she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson. The eruption of the primordial sea at the fortress of Meripede was... The prophecy's contents can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what... Huh? Oh, Paimon gets it now, but then it feels like...
Let's hear them.
Incredible.
All Fontanians were originally created by the late priest. The evidence for that can be found in how only... Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she...
Indeed.
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably... That could also explain why the Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to...
The Hydro Archon's true sin.
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell? So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also? In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon... Did Paimon get all that right?
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you... However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been... When we were at the ruins, I tried to decipher the hidden information. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher... I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontainus. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontanians and the sin of the... In the Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land. The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon that... However, Even though water as an element is intricately linked with the power of life, the Hydro Archon, as one of the seven, not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars she poured primordial seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating human. But if Fontanians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea, the power within their bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea. As a result, their forms would collapse, and they would be reverted. Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first.
So we were all Oceanids?
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend. Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was
This really might be too much information for your regular Fontaine.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the third and fourth stone slates was a key point of the visual on the third slate is how all they have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted the nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as well as the nation of trials and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded. Therefore, the meaning of that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the... Yes, it refers to our present.
I think I'm following now. So, what you're saying, in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy foretold. So now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
What should we do?
Huh. No matter what, the prophecy will be fulfilled.
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy about the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of... However, I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that as for the root cause of the catastrophe... This eruption was just a small warning of the things to come. We must...
It was both dream.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be that...
The truth, the original sin, the trial.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it is chosen to make it. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontanians out of Oceanids...
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontanian. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next...
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him, the whale would have likely come onto land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster...
It is too late. It had already absorbed too much of the... Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could...
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we've come so far.
Indeed. That's not how a grand...
I'll fight it to the end. No matter...
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
The prophecy. Yes. Just as prophecies are usually... ultimately...
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
No, I still need answers.
You...
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing.
You are not Farina.
Ah, the sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that...
Fusalo.
Oh, that wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand the heavenly principle.
Deceiving the heaven...
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine... One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria. She knew full well that the prophecy would end as one of the seven. She also knew full well that one defies the heavenly... So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I had to outwit the heavenly principles. Allow the prophecy to be. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that, although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, but one can only play the hand one is dealt. I did not choose this, any more than I chose to be one.
So you were also once one of the Oceanids?
Yes, I was. I always dreamed of becoming human. And I still do, even now. After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit, leaving behind only a self that was as naive and bewildered as my The me you see before you now is that divinity. And the human she could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be vain and conceited. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in anyway, so then all part of the plan, of course. The plan to deceive the heavenly prince. Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy? In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Focalor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But nor was she. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady. I suppose now you probably understand why your
But Farina is only human. Even though she has had a long life, her mind is no stronger than that of any other Odin. I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, it's been 500 and all along. She's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? All right. It is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to. I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must at all. Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Booba, get them!
Convention, that's gonna hurt in the morning. Convention, everybody stand back.
Eat this!
Wind strike.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards! Wait, where are the guards? Guards!
Fire!
Farina. Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are...
Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're... near me? How can this be?
Mirror you.
Mirror me. What do you...
The prophecy.
What prophecy? Wait. I know the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the hydro...
Oh, very good.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only...
Yes, it will. And that...
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontanian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Oh, don't worry. Magical meat, I will tell you how to save...
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you fright us for the suffering. Well, but if the prophecy will come true, if there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain on the other.
I suppose this would also be the justice.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play
as...
That's right. You must begin a never-end... If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy.
But how will I do this? A human...
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you remember. Your true challenge will not...
I'm still not sure I understand. So, how long am I...
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the spot. I promise you. All with...
A trial, huh? The Maison Cardinalise. What should I say to most... Ladies, I'm sure you've all heard about... In truth, I know little as the god Focalor, the god of justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. This... I thought I might stammer, but...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just...
Wait, what's going on? Why, right? Mirmi said that I just need to play the role. Calm down, Farina. Think assertive, with a strong sense of presence. Now, I was wondering if some weak... Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. Now then,
So that was just performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera?
Personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright after all.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow.
My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust me or nay, I say to you, we have heard it said that this nation's sins the scales of justice should not weigh heavy, and may law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our word.
No, this won't work. They'll suspect me again. I must play the role that they want.
There is no trouble in this world so long as I, the Archon Focalor,
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up.
Besides,
That's true,
no need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now.
Lady Farina,
No need to thank. All right.
He is... You're such...
Lady Farina, you're...
I see. It's as I thought then. All manner of
Really?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effect...
Is that so? Well...
The day is finally over. But it's good to see that everything's getting on track. Maybe this is fine.
Lady Farina, here are the new
There'll be no need for that.
Lady Farina, I've...
Indeed, my dear loyal citizen.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies.
Understood. Keep monitoring. I feel utterly...
Lady Farina, I've heard that the first member of our family... Sure...
What?
Are you crying?
This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god.
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed by now. I never imagined, have I want to tell someone, and I've conducted so many, and all I can do is keep heart.
Farina. You don't have to although I don't know what you might be.
Share. That's impossible. It was fated right.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to just share it with me.
A witness. Yes. And if Tevat is in. She's right. But if things don't play out as. No, Farina. But what if. Farina, is it such an outrageous. If you let this opportunity think about it long and hard. No, I have nothing to say. I am Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. All you need to do, dear spectator, is to witness my.
Fine.
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never...
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heaven... She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5... It seems that, trusting humanity...
I believe that I understand how your deception works. How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
Ah, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the... I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no...
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice. It now seems that that person was you, hidden with...
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes... It would seem, alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth. In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to...
I beg your...
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon... I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose? My work over these last 500 years has been to but really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the vast majority had to be.
It was all a part of your plan then? Both the...
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for but only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor. The destruction of that divine throne. If I do not
Returning what's rightfully yours to you. In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the...
But...
Oh, what? Get the authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very...
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception... Hydro Dragon. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should... Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuit. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontaine... In other words, existence was defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people... At this point, we, whether it be myself or Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign...
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, at last, I now understand the true purpose. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about You are a devious one for things being as they are. Surely you know that I could never declare them to...
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened?
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection?
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened...
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
But, didn't you say just a moment ago that
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, Now that the oratories can no longer function, the root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy. Come with me, traveler. The hour... Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Everybody stand back! May I present? Stop that!
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but it was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the mean. Oh, actually, I had a feeling that it.
Power.
Paimon has an idea. From what it's just that he gave us the impression that she was, less.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. So you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats. All in all, it failed. The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well...
Oh, right. So you don't... His name is Sertologi.
I am unfamiliar.
Huh. So master isn't sufficiently famous.
The fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about...
Ooh, that one we've heard! Rheindochter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's a...
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. But I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a similar sort to Rheindochter.
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary...
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fight. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over.
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has already...
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Initiate emergency rescue!
Hurry! Hey, lend a hand! Receding!
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
The soil renewed. Old soil can skyship the various people Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the—
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The value for these big Edwin's assistant, jury, and that's exact. Oh, this time.
The show begins!
Navia! Oh,
Hey,
I'm here to update. Let me introduce you. This is Mr. our resident.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours, but if you don't,
I get where you're coming from.
that would be fun.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
We finished laying.
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson.
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions?
Forget it.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
how did it go? Was it a good show?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots. All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is also not. Wow.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got.
Whoa.
That's a.
In truth, I told him.
You're right.
Stay safe now. And.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feel.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Duke! Did you come all the way to—
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your interview. I trust you.
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no,
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside.
Sir, please don't say things like.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it.
No, I just. This is my first time.
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you. The boat that brought about a miracle. Still, if I might ask.
Huh? Looks like
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the.
Really? Well, then in that.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps you'd like to take.
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help.
things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to—
Ah, Siegeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't. Sure. Come on, Miss Siegeween. Over this way.
Huh? Sure. Do I have to smile? So, how have things been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through.
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two. I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not...
He sure did win them over.
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face it.
Oh, actually, what about you? Are things gonna change?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folk.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory. All right, last stop, the docks. Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch.
Traveler, Paimon. And Miss Charlotte, too.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is it?
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them.
Or trick a friend.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by, I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure.
You sure are working hard to help Fermine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself.
And that said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with the first step.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants...
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had... Father says that you did a...
That's all right.
Oh, I guess you haven't... After Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervilette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a
diplomatic gift?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it over, it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to...
That's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking...
I would agree, but I've also heard that it seems that Monsieur Nervilette
so there's some reason for this that only...
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Yes, speaking of which, I did see him strolling around the entrance.
Isn't he real busy and stuff? Paimon didn't think he'd have the time, but back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right?
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his...
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with...
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Father!
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing.
Are you going to take the gnosis back to Sneg?
That is our duty as Harbinger. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a switching my masks is something Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll remember to return it. Thank you.
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels on the...
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our dear magicians and our upcoming...
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, Traveler, Paimon, you take what...
To move things about?
That's right. I guess this must be life. All right, then.
Well, guess we sent Charlotte, huh? We go see what Nivelette's doing? I thought...
Off we go. Adventure time. Off we go.
The entrance to the fortress! Ooh, he really is there!
Adventure time.
So, you really are here, Nivelette! Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. In any case, you came at a good time.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. Thank you for keeping us on your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is...
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when...
Whoa. So that's what had Fossilor destroyed the divine throne of the high... But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control. Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the but so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water.
Fossilor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Fossilor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. I have investigated his case, but whether it... As for the judgment pat, whether it was...
Guess Fossil... hang on a sec. Back when
Life has all...
Yeah, well next...
In truth, those OC... Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Yeah.
Ah, lady... I related folk. She simply said... Having said that... You need not worry. In truth, I am... But now that she...
What about you?
After Fossil, this matter will...
Looks like you're...
As an element, as such, before I... Additionally...
That's true. Wait, but...
As I am now...
Wow.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know.
Oh, that's...
Leaving aside this sole remaining goal in Fontaine, the Oratrice as such it has lost. If the Fatui... Ask away. I will tell you the truth as you will soon be... I'm afraid that I have little... As far as...
A nation of dragons.
No, unlike Natlan is... There is one other... The Harbinger known as... I suggest that you fully... Ask away. I will tell you the truth as...
When we spoke, we guessed that...
So regarding this specific issue, In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting. I can finally catch the scent of your power. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons, but with something very similar to a god's curse mixed in. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you...
Of course, you should have the remains of the third descender on your...
Remains? I've...
According to your...
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity, but I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner.
I've been training with my master, the Fowl, ever since I was young, and I have never returned. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune. To live in itself is a blessing. But one...
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my...
This third descender you refer to, who are they?
Master never mentioned them to me. Perhaps if you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I?
That's what she told me.
The remains of the... So that's what the note...
All the same, assuming that there was...
And she said that it would...
If she speaks the truth? I guess that you might already be familiar. That means that the Gnosis... I wonder. Does your body also possess...
Like being able to use elemental powers. No, let's not think about this stuff right now. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all. That's what you say, but this topic still feels like that. Once child recovers, let's get some...
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when...
Alright, whatever the...
Yes. Or...
But she said...
I suppose that would be the I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if life flows like water, and rain is the final end.